When you're living on the streets alone, situational awareness becomes your lifeline. It's not just about being observant, it's about developing a sixth sense for your environment. Whether you're walking through a park, bedding down in an alley, or just sitting on a bus bench, you need to constantly assess who's around you, what they're doing, and whether they're a threat. This awareness isn't about paranoia, it's about survival. Solo homeless individuals, especially women, are frequent targets for predators, thieves, and even law enforcement scrutiny. That's why understanding body language and learning to observe subtle cues can be the difference between safety and danger. Watch for loiterers who are too curious, for people who walk behind you for too long, or vehicles that circle the block more than once. Always trust your gut. It has a way of noticing things your mind can't articulate. When choosing a place to sleep or rest, don't just look at the physical shelter. Look at visibility, foot traffic, escape routes, and lighting. A spot that seems quiet during the day might become a magnet for trouble after dark. Test it first, sit there for a few hours and watch how it changes. Listen to how the neighborhood breathes at night. Your ears are as important as your eyes. If you sleep with earbuds in, keep the volume low or wear just one. Being surprised in your sleep is one of the biggest risks for solo homeless individuals. Sleep in shifts if possible. Many survivors use decoys, like laying out a dummy under a blanket nearby to mislead potential threats. Finally, keep your possessions tight to your body. Use bags that strap across your chest and secure your shoes to your belt if you're sleeping. Many people have woken up barefoot and robbed because they let their guard down for a single night. Staying alert is exhausting, but over time it becomes second nature. The key is to stay sharp without letting the stress consume you. You're not just surviving, you're actively managing risk in real time. And with practice, you'll become harder to fool, tougher to follow, and far less likely to be taken by surprise. Blending in is one of the most important strategies for surviving alone on the streets, especially as a woman or man over the age of 50. You don't want to attract attention. You don't want to look too vulnerable, too isolated, or too prepared, because being too well equipped can make you a target just as quickly as appearing weak. The goal is to walk the line between invisible and competent. First, your clothing matters. Neutral colors like gray, brown, navy, and black don't stand out, and layers allow you to adjust to changing temperatures without drawing eyes. Avoid flashy gear or branded items. Expensive-looking backpacks or gadgets tell people you have something worth stealing. You want to look unremarkable, like someone who's been out here a while and has nothing worth bothering with. Second, understand the rhythm of the streets. Don't linger too long in one place during the day. Move with a purpose, even if you're just circling back to the same park bench. Keep moving in the daylight and find shelter before dark. The night changes everything. People get desperate, bolder, and less inhibited. If you're already settled before the sun goes down, you lower your risk of being approached by trouble. One of the smartest ways to blend in is by learning to mirror. Watch how others carry themselves, how fast they walk, how they hold their heads, how they avoid eye contact. Emulate that. Look like you belong. If you're ever confronted, know when to talk and when to stay silent. A confident, calm demeanor can diffuse a situation before it escalates. Also, avoid drawing attention with signs, begging, or loud conversations, especially on your phone if you have one. Those behaviors might be necessary sometimes, but the more often you do them, the more people will recognize and remember you. Keep your profile low. Be polite when spoken to, but don't overshare. The more people know about you, the more they can use against you. Blending in doesn't mean giving up your identity. It means preserving your safety by choosing when and how to reveal yourself. It's not about shame. It's about strategy. If you make yourself unmemorable, you give yourself the space to rest, regroup, and survive another day. Staying safe at night is a challenge for anyone living on the streets, but but especially for solo women and older men who are more vulnerable to attacks, theft, or harassment. The hours between sundown and sunrise carry a different kind of energy, more erratic, more dangerous, more desperate. That's why nighttime preparation isn't optional. It's survival 101. The first and most important rule is to choose your sleeping spot wisely. Avoid well-lit, high-traffic areas where you might be noticed and moved along, but don't disappear so far off grid that no one would hear you if something went wrong. Aim for places that offer partial cover behind bushes, between buildings, under stairwells. Always have two exit paths in mind. If someone approaches, you need a plan A and a plan B. Don't zip your sleeping bag all the way or trap yourself inside your shelter. Noise discipline is crucial. Rustling bags, talking, or even snoring can draw unwanted attention. If you're in an area with other homeless people, try to find a group that seems stable or peaceful and quietly blend in. But trust your gut. If something feels off, move. It's better to relocate than to risk an unsafe night. Lighting is another big consideration. Carry a small flashlight or headlamp with a red filter. Red light doesn't destroy your night vision and is much less likely to alert someone to your presence. Avoid using your phone screen as a light source. It's too bright and signals that you have something valuable. Use your gear to create safe zones. Keep your shoes on or beside you, never buried deep in your bag. Store your essential gear in a way that lets you grab and go. If you're using a cart or backpack, secure it to your wrist or body with a bungee cord or carabiner. If possible, create decoys. An empty bag left a few feet from you can distract thieves long enough for you to react. Sleep lightly. Some survivors train themselves to rest in short intervals, never entering deep sleep. It's not restful, but it's safer. Finally, avoid sleeping in the same place night after night. Patterns make you predictable, and predictability can get you targeted. Change locations regularly. Keep your mouth shut and your ears open. The night belongs to those who respect its dangers and prepare accordingly. Food and water are your lifelines on the streets, but when you're homeless and alone, especially as an older man or woman, securing them safely and consistently becomes a delicate balance between risk, resourcefulness, and dignity. The body still needs calories, protein, hydration, and warmth, but there's no refrigerator, no grocery list, and often no money. What you do have is your wits, and they must stay sharp. First, prioritize hydration. Dehydration will take you down faster than hunger. Always carry a reusable water bottle or collapsible bladder. Public restrooms, libraries, gyms, and gas stations can offer clean water, but not always. When uncertain, use purification tablets or a small filter straw. These are cheap, light, and absolutely vital if you ever need to drink from questionable sources like outdoor taps or even rain puddles. In winter, melting clean snow can work in emergencies, but never eat it without melting or your body will burn too much energy trying to warm it. Food strategy is about calories per ounce. High protein snacks like nuts, jerky, protein bars, or even peanut butter are ideal. Canned goods may seem like a good deal, but are heavy and take up too much space. Plus, you'll need a can opener. Look for shelf, stable, ready, to eat foods that don't require cooking. When you do find food pantries or soup kitchens, treat them as gold mines, not just for meals, but for information. Often, you'll hear where the next food drive is or what places hand out hygiene kits and snacks. Dumpster diving may be uncomfortable to talk about, but it's a reality many face. Grocery store bins often contain surprisingly good finds, especially if you learn their trash schedule. Always check packaging for damage and expiration dates. Trust your senses. If it smells bad or looks wrong, skip it. You can't afford food poisoning on the street. Begging or panhandling can be dangerous and demoralizing, especially for women. If you choose to do it, always stay in public, lit areas and don't argue with hostile passers-by. Better yet, try sign flying with a clear, respectful message. People respond better to honesty and humility than manipulation. Ultimately, your goal is to keep your body fueled just enough to stay alert, mobile, and clear-minded. It's not about feasting, it's about surviving the day and preparing for the next. Staying mentally strong and emotionally stable is one of the most overlooked yet most critical parts of surviving homelessness, especially if you're navigating it alone as a woman or man. When every day feels like a battle for safety, shelter, and dignity, the mind can quickly become your worst enemy if left unchecked. Depression, anxiety, paranoia, and hopelessness creep in silently, and once they take hold, your survival instincts dull, your decisions get sloppy, and danger becomes harder to recognize. Start by acknowledging that you will have bad days, dark days when you want to give up, lash out, or disappear. These feelings are valid, but they must not control you. One powerful tool is routine. Even when everything else is chaos, a small structure, waking at sunrise, cleaning yourself with wipes, stretching, checking your gear, can give your mind a sense of control. Predictability in an unpredictable world is calming. Another tool is mental exercises. Carry a small notebook or use a folded piece of cardboard to jot down thoughts, goals, or memories. Writing is a way to release tension, and when you look back, you'll see your strength in ink. Read books from libraries or shelters when you can. Staying mentally stimulated protects your brain like armor. Avoid doom, scrolling on public Wi-Fi, or getting trapped in bad news loops. Those only feed despair. Laughter is medicine too. Gallows humor, finding dark, ironic, or absurd moments funny, has kept thousands of homeless folks sane. It doesn't make your suffering less real, it just gives you power over it. Joking with others in shelters or while waiting in line for a meal helps build social glue. Don't underestimate the value of human connection. Even fleeting conversations can lift the fog. Spiritual grounding helps many. Whether it's prayer, meditation, repeating mantras, or just watching the sunrise every morning, anchoring yourself to something bigger than the moment can be life-saving. Hope isn't always a spark, it's sometimes just a stubborn whisper saying, one more day. And finally, set micro goals. Don't think about surviving the next month. Just focus on making it through today. Get food, stay dry, charge your flashlight, find a safe place to sleep. When you complete a task, no matter how small, acknowledge it. That moment of progress keeps the mind from slipping into despair. Resilience is a mindset. Feed it daily. Resourcefulness is the lifeblood of survival when you're homeless, especially when you're navigating it alone. The ability to make something out of nothing, to find value in what others discard, and to creatively solve problems on the fly can mean the difference between a night of relative comfort or one of cold, hunger, and danger. For both men and women, developing sharp resourcefulness is a survival skill that gets stronger the more you use it, and it begins with shifting your mindset from consumer to scavenger, from spender to strategist. Start with shelter. You may not have a roof, but you can create barriers between you and the elements. Abandoned buildings, bus stops, and hidden corners behind businesses offer some protection, but require keen observation and timing. Cardboard, discarded tarps, plastic sheeting, and duct tape can transform into insulation or temporary walls. Women especially should be cautious and avoid overly exposed locations. Tucking away in a place where you can hear people approach without being seen is key. Clothing isn't just fashion, it's survival armor. Layering is vital. Dumpster dives near laundromats or secondhand bins behind donation centers can yield jackets, socks, and shoes. Wet feet are the enemy. Keep extra socks dry in a sealed plastic bag inside your backpack if possible. And never underestimate the warmth of a scarf or beanie in winter. Food is everywhere if you know where to look. Grocery store dumpsters behind chains like Trader Joe's or bakeries often contain still, edible food tossed due to expiration dates. Churches, food banks, and day centers are gold mines for small meals or hot drinks. Learn their schedules, be respectful, and they may remember you and help when times are hardest. For hygiene, keep baby wipes, a small towel, and a toothbrush in your essentials bag. Gas stations and fast food restaurants often have bathrooms. Use them early in the morning when staff are less alert. Fill up water bottles anywhere you can. Public parks and cemeteries often have working spigots. Tools can be found in dollar stores or abandoned vehicles. Think multi-tools, flashlights, lighters, even blankets. Libraries are sanctuaries, not just for warmth and Wi-Fi, but for recharging your phone and your spirit. And don't forget, kindness is a resource too. When you offer help to others in need, it often comes back when you need it most.